Okay, let's jump right into it. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to completely unpack what is shaping up to be Tom Holland's darkest, most intense outing in the MCU to date, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Look, if you've been tracking the breadcrumbs dropping from Marvel and Sony, you already know they are gearing up for something massive. We're not just looking at a standard sequel here. No, we're talking about a total paradigm shift. Brand new faces, extreme threats, and honestly, some of the heaviest hitters in the entire MCU stepping in to upend the status quo. So let's break down all the key updates, the hidden details, and what this incredibly hyped movie actually means for Peter Parker. Now, to really grasp where we're headed, we have to look back at exactly where we left off. I mean, do you remember the absolute gut punch ending of No Way Home? Think about the sheer emotional weight of that finale for a second. Doctor Strange's spell worked, sure, but the cost, absolutely unimaginable. The entire world, literally everyone, completely forgot Peter Parker even existed. MJ, the love of his life, has no clue who he is. His best friend Ned, total stranger. Peter sacrificed his entire identity, his whole support system, just to save the multiverse. And he was left completely, devastatingly alone in that tiny apartment with a sewing machine and just an incredibly heavy burden. Well, time hasn't exactly stood still for him. The narrative of Brand New Day drops us in exactly 4 years after the events of No Way Home, and for those intermediate years, years 1, 2, and 3, Peter has basically been a ghost. He's transformed into this relentless, round-the-clock protector of New York City. There are no check-ins at the Avengers compound anymore, no billionaire tech upgrades, no high school drama to ground him. It is just non-stop, entirely solitary vigilante justice, day in and day out. So by the time we hit year 4, that profound isolation has just baked itself into his daily reality. And you can imagine that timeline has taken a brutal toll. Just think about the old Peter Parker for a minute. He was a kid who always had a safety net. Whether it was MJ and Ned having his back emotionally, Tony Stark acting as a mentor, or having the literal Avengers to call on. But the current Spider-Man, he is flying totally solo. He is operating under this crushing, immense mental pressure. There's nobody there to patch him up when he's battered, and honestly, more importantly, there's no one to pull him back when he pushes things too far. The psychological weight of fighting this endless war without a single friend in his corner is pushing his mind to the absolute breaking point. Actually, that intense mental pressure, it's starting to manifest physically. We're looking at a genuinely terrifying biological change happening within Peter, triggered entirely by the severe trauma and stress of his isolation. This isn't him just putting on a darker suit. It is a literal physical evolution occurring inside his body. The source material indicates this change is actually enhancing his powers, making him hit harder, move faster. But here is the truly terrifying plot twist. It's causing him to lose control. The exact same evolution that's giving him the raw power to survive this lonely crusade might be the very thing that strips away his humanity. And that loss of control is exactly what sets the stage for a much darker chapter. Early synopses are openly teasing that the streets of New York are about to witness an unprecedented level of bloodshed and brutal justice. I mean, let that sink in. That is a massive departure from the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all know and love. The gloves are completely off. With Peter evolving into this darker, unrestrained version of himself, the criminal underworld is going to come face to face with a Spider-Man who just might stop pulling his punches. Speaking of absolutely not pulling punches, Jon Bernthal is officially back as the Punisher. Oh yeah, Frank Castle is bringing his lethal, entirely unforgiving brand of justice right to the streets of New York. And from a storytelling perspective, this is just a brilliant collision. Think about it. You've got a highly unstable Spider-Man teetering on the edge, suddenly crossing paths with the brutal, fatal methods of the Punisher. Are they going to team up? Are they going to tear each other apart? It's pretty much a guarantee they're going to clash big time over how to actually clean up a city. But wait, the incredible cast additions do not stop there. Ramping the hype up even further, Mark Ruffalo is smashing his way back onto the screen as Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk. Just imagine the visual spectacle of seeing Spidey and the Hulk sharing the screen again, especially in a gritty, street-level New York environment. And it really makes you wonder, right? How does Banner fit into a universe that literally has no memory of Peter Parker? The dynamic between a hyper-stressed, volatile Spider-Man and the sheer unstoppable force of the Hulk is going to be wildly fascinating to watch. Now, adding a massive layer of mystery to this whole lineup, Stranger Things star Sadie Sink has been cast in a role that is so highly classified, they basically have it locked in a vibranium vault. Just to put this level of secrecy into perspective, she actually revealed in an interview recently that she wasn't even allowed to look at the script until she physically set foot on the London set.
Usually when Marvel goes to those extremes to guard an identity, it means it's a huge fan favorite from the comics or a character whose very name is a massive spoiler for the plot.
Stepping behind the camera, we got some fantastic real-world news that basically guarantees this movie's going to look unbelievable. Destin Daniel Cretton, the director who delivered the phenomenal Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, is officially taking the helm for Brand New Day. If you watched Shang-Chi, you already know Cretton has an absolute masterclass eye for visceral, breathtaking hand-to-hand combat. Taking that specific talent and applying it to the gritty, fast-paced acrobatic brawls of Spider-Man taking down the New York underworld, that is a match made in cinematic heaven.
So who exactly is Peter going to be unleashing these new combat skills on? Well, based on the latest intel, the confirmed plot points to a quote-unquote invisible or shocking threat terrorizing the city, something that literally cannot be seen. Now, that could be a metaphor or it could be a very literal new adversary. On top of that, the rumor mill is spinning fast, with heavy buzz around classic comic villains like Mac Gargan, better known to most as the Scorpion, and the terrifying mob enforcer Tombstone. If Tombstone and Scorpion are the ones actually pulling the strings, Peter is absolutely in for the fight of his life.
So when do we actually get to see all this chaos unfold? Go ahead and circle this number right now, 30, as in July 30th. That is the concrete, confirmed release date slated for the movie's drop in India. We officially have a countdown, folks. And yeah, the wait is definitely going to feel long, but looking at everything we've unpacked in this explainer today, the dark biological evolution, Punisher, Hulk, a visionary new director, it is absolutely going to be worth the wait.
Which brings us to the biggest lingering question, and I want to throw this directly over to you. Who in the world do you think Sadie Sink's top secret character is going to be? Are we looking at a new ally, a devastating new villain, or maybe a familiar face deeply tied to Spider-Verse lore? Drop your absolute wildest theories down below. And hey, if this breakdown helped you wrap your head around the massive scope of Spider-Man Brand New Day, definitely share this explainer with your fellow Marvel fans. Until next time, keep theorizing, and I'll catch you in the next one.